What's going on, Schmidt heads? Welcome back to another week of Undercover Picks. I am your host, Jojo Suave, and last week we did pretty good. 2-3 on the money picks against the spread. That's 2 weeks in a row we went 2 for 3. Looks like we're back on the right trend. I got another 3 money picks for you guys this week. 4 picks that I might swap, and the rest are locks. Feeling pretty confident this week. We've only had one bad week so far this year. Um, I'm only confident this week if this is a week that the public gets screwed, though, because I don't think I've gone public with a lot of these picks. But so far we are 50 for 93. 50 for 93 against the spread. So 50 correct picks. Not doing too bad. That's I wish I was at 60, but maybe we can pick it up as the rest of the year goes on as we get to know these teams better. Just before I get started, speaking of knowing the teams better, it's hard to know these teams. They're getting injured every week. Football isn't fun to watch when all the stars are getting injured, and I'm watching backups play every week. It's like preseason, but for the whole entire year, and I don't watch preseason. So it's a lot of slop I don't like seeing. It does make these games harder to predict, but we're doing good so far, so it isn't hurting us yet. But let's just go back to grass fields. That's my solution. Most of these injuries are not non-contact injuries, and I'm sick of seeing it, man. It piles on more and more every year. No matter what rules they change, it doesn't get better because it doesn't matter what rules you do. If it's non-contact injuries, no rule you make can prevent that. I'm blaming it on the turf fields, obviously. And then the kickoff rules suck. I hope this is the last year we see it like this. Yeah, we're getting returns. I like the way they change it, so we're getting returns. But teams starting off on the 35-yard line, only needing to make a play or two to get in a field goal range, and then they just play conservative because they're already in scoring position. We're not seeing a lot of yards, not seeing a lot of production. I don't know. I want it to go back to the way it was 20 years ago. Anyway, let's get to this week. Hopefully we have another good week on our hands. We went 8 for 15 last week. I wish we went 10 for 15, but that's over 50%. We're going to keep it that way. First game. It's a tough one. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are plus 5.5 at home. This is a Thursday night game. I'm going to say this every video. Thursday night games are always weird. I never know what to do. I find picking the better team is working. Pittsburgh as favorites. Tomlin doesn't really cover when he's a favorite. Everybody's on the Bengals. And I'm getting conflicting information on this game. Everybody I see is picking the Bengals. But then I look at what the money's on, and you got a lot of people putting their money on the Steelers this game. So a lot of conflicting information with that. So I'm not even going to look into that stuff or pay attention to it. I like the way Rodgers is playing. I'm going to pick the Steelers to win and to cover this game. Not putting no money on it, not feeling super confident about it because I do see Flacco connecting with these awesome receivers he has in Higgins and Jamar Chase. He'll put up numbers no matter who his quarterback is. So, but I'm just going to pick Steelers and bet on the Steelers defense to continue to play good, get some turnovers, put pressure on Flacco, sack him. He's slow. He isn't going to scramble out of the pocket. So if they get to him, they'll get to him. I doubt he's going to break out of any sacks. He might be smart with the ball, not turn it over. But I think Pittsburgh's offense isn't getting enough credit. Yeah, I don't think they're good. I'm not saying they're good or they're a lot better than people are saying, but I think they're slightly underrated. Somehow Rodgers is connecting with his receivers, and he's been playing great this year. He isn't turning the ball over. He's hitting his receivers. Hopefully Austin plays this week. Or tonight. I didn't look at that. I should have. But yeah, I like the way Rodgers is slinging the ball. I like the way they're protecting it. They got a little run game going last week, and Cincinnati's defense is still horrible. Playing a little bit better than I expected. I'll give them that. But I still like Steelers have been putting up points against good defenses. Not a lot of points, but enough. They're putting up 20 plus points against good defenses. Now they're going against a bad defense, and it's the NFL. The exact opposite that you expect to happen can always happen, where Cincinnati's defense just somehow they make plays. Joe Flacco just throws for 3+ touchdowns all over this defense, but I think this defense is going to continue to play lockdown. I think this is going to be a sweat, this spread. But yeah, I could see Steelers winning by 6. Don't feel confident in this game at all, but I wouldn't feel confident going the other way either. Everybody thinks Flacco is going to tear it up, and that's the one thing that's making me feel good about this. Everybody's saying the same thing about the Bengals. They should be able to keep it close. Mike Tomlin didn't like how they got Flacco, so they think he's scared of him and all that. But yeah, I feel like the Steelers is a smart pick here. It's hard to convince myself that this is a sure lock, but I don't see me switching it. Yeah, it's the battle of the 40-year-olds. Rodgers is getting protected. No teams are sacking him. Not even the Browns. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I think the Steelers will get some good runs in. You could run on this defense. I think Steelers offense will put up 24 plus points on this defense and hold Cincinnati to 17 or less. That's what I hope happens, and I feel like that's going to happen, so let's see what happens. Next game, we got the Los Angeles Rams at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Technically, they're both away teams in my eyes. This is a London game. Both teams are going to have a bye week after this matchup, so they're both going into a bye after this week, both playing in London. Jags play here just about every year, but I don't think that matters. I think Jags got there earlier than the Rams did, so they've been in London longer, getting acquainted, whatever that means, getting used to the air around there. But Rams, I'm going to pick the Jaguars to win and to cover this game. The +2.5. Jags are +2.5. I just don't want to bet on the Rams or pick the Rams without Puka Nacua. I don't know how this offense is going to operate without him, and I don't see it being too good. Yeah, they still got Devontae Adams. He can connect to Tutu Atwell. They got Kyron Williams still in the backfield, Matt Stafford. But Nacua has been getting 8+ receptions a game, like 80+ yards. Like, he has been a big part of this offense every single week this year. And now they're not going to have him. I'm pretty sure he's going to be out this game. And they're going into a bye, so I don't see why they wouldn't keep him out and let him get an extra week of rest. And I just think Jacksonville, that's going to help Jacksonville out a lot. I don't see the Rams scoring a lot without Nacua. They definitely could, like I said, with the players I listed earlier. Jacksonville, though, let's see if I got anything. They got a good defense. But, Rams could definitely get to Lawrence. Lawrence got sacked 7 times. 7 times. hit 17 times. So, this is it could be a toss-up. It's hard to pick. But mainly because of Puka Nacua being out, like, I gotta go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Then they get plus 2.5. Rams haven't really blown any teams out, and are they gonna get their first blowout win without their top offensive player? I don't see it happening. Yeah, I just feel confident with the Jags here. Not confident enough to put my money on it, though, and it's a London game. So when it comes to Thursday night games and London games, I don't think I'm ever going to put my money on it. I am 2 for 3 on London games this year, so I am doing good picking the London games and Brazil, and I got the Brazil game right, but yeah, I'm just still maybe next year, maybe next year. I don't think I got much more to say about that game. I like the Jacksonville's offense. They look a little bit inconsistent. They could make some fluky plays, but I just feel like they're gonna get better and better as the year goes on. They just seem like that type of offense. Especially if they keep winning games, that'll keep them motivated to get better. Next game, we got. Oh, yeah. Before I get to the next game, both these teams are 4-2, and I think the Jaguars are the better of the 4-2 games. Even though the Rams won, I wouldn't even say convincingly last week, but if you look at the scoreboard, it looks like it was an easy win for them. I don't think they looked good last week. They looked off against a Rams team. Like, they didn't have like a mojo, a flow. They won the game basically because the Ravens can't do anything. But yeah, I don't think they looked that good last week. So going off last week, and I don't think the Rams are gonna be that good this week, especially without Nacua, and they didn't even look that good last week. So let's get to the next game. Finally, the 1 o'clock games. 1 o'clock games, I have not been doing good this year. I got to step it up with these 1 o'clock games. Everywhere else across the board, I'm picking great. But these 1 o'clock games, they're hurting me. Good thing I'm not betting a lot of my money on these 1 o'clock games. So until I get better with them, I'm going to stay away from betting a lot of money on these 1 o'clock games. And that's been working for us the past 2 weeks. Most of my money picks have been 4 o'clock and after. I don't know why, but I'm just picking. This will be the week we turn it around. All right. First 1 o'clock game, we got the New Orleans Saints at the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears are minus 5.5. I see everybody picking the Saints on this one. I don't know why people are so confident in the Saints. Yeah, they're playing a lot of close games, but they still only won once. Rattler is still 1 for a 1-11, I believe, record-wise. They didn't even cover against the Pats last week when that was a bad spot for the Pats. I put my money on the Pats. We were right with that. Yeah, I'm going to stay away from the Saints. I'm going to stay away from Rattler. I've been money all year on the Saints so far. I don't think I picked a single game wrong with them. Let me see week 1 real quick. That's the only one I'm not sure on. Yeah, I haven't been wrong on a Saints game all year. So let's see if I can keep that trend going. I'm gonna fade the Saints this week. We're going with the Chicago Bears to cover minus 5.5. I think the Bears' offense is getting better now. Williams is a problem to me because of his inaccuracy. He's not connecting with his receivers. He's off target. But that, anyone could hit their stride any given week. So I don't want to look too much into that. Their offense is good. They can run the ball. They could put up points. Their defense, I think, is getting healthy this week. I think they're getting players back. Chicago's on a 3-win streak. And I don't see them dropping that win streak to the Saints, but they do got to win by 6. And I don't think they've won any close, or they haven't blown anyone out yet this year. So them being 5.5-point favorites is a little fishy, especially with how close Saints have been keeping these games. So yeah, I'm gonna pick the Bears to win and to cover this game. I don't see the, yeah, I'm gonna fade Rattler and the Saints. I don't know what else to say. Rattler, he's playing safe. He's not turning the ball over a lot, but yeah, I think the Bears, they got a good win last week. They got over a hump, I guess I would say. That's definitely a game that mattered to them. I don't know what anybody was saying, but the Redskins pretty much put a nail in their coffin last season, and for them to get that win, I think it was big for them. So, I don't know. I'm just feeling the Bears. I see why a lot of people are picking the Saints. I really do. They are staying close. Their defense is good at stopping the run, and that's what really got the Bears' offense going, was the run game last week. So if they could stop the run, and you got to rely on inaccurate Caleb Williams, maybe the Saints, cover this game. But, Rattler perhaps is due to make a mistake or two, throw a couple picks. He hasn't made too many mistakes yet. And I just don't see the Saints. They're not going to pick it up at all this year. I said it since the beginning of the year, they're going to be the worst team in the league. Right now, that's the Jets. But, yeah, I'm not going to go away from how I felt since the beginning of the year. It looks like I was right. It looks like a lot of people were right. I wasn't the only one that thought that. They are putting up fights, so, good for them. But that's just so, there's something to talk about every week, you know what I mean? If they were getting blown out every week, people could still be like, oh, the Saints, they might win, when really it's not going to happen. So far, let's see if we can stay undefeated on our Saints picks against the spread. They've only covered twice this year, and we picked them those 2 weeks, picked against them the rest. Let's see if we can keep it up. I do believe, who do the Saints play next week? I should have wrote that down, because I think that was part of the reason why I wanted to fade them too. I think they should cover next week. Did I write that down? No, I don't think I did. Another reason why the Saints might cover is because the Bears can't score when they get in the red zone, and they can't score TDs on long drives either. So that's two reasons to fade the Bears. If they get the ball on the 20-yard line, you could expect no more than a field goal at the end of that drive. And if they get in the red zone, you can expect no more than a field goal. So they're not scoring a lot of touchdowns unless it's off of a big play and they already had good field position. That's what I've seen. Anyway, let's get to the next game. Next game, we got the Miami Dolphins at the Cleveland Browns. Browns are -2.5. The Browns are favored with the rookie quarterback, rookie running back, but a pretty nice defense, and that's probably why. So is this a trap? I don't think so. I don't think it's a trap at all, because Miami sucks. Their defense sucks. Their offense has been clicking. They can still put up points, but they look very inconsistent. Like I said last video, I don't see them playing quarter to quarter. They'll score some point, they look good one quarter, then the next quarter they can't get any first downs. They covered last week against The Chargers, though. Oh, man, that was a money pick, the one we got wrong. We had the Chargers to cover against Miami last week, and they didn't pull it off. Uh, yeah, I think I got Cleveland to win and to cover this. I feel like that's the popular vote this week. That's the only thing that makes me worried is I feel like nobody's given the Dolphins any chance against the Browns, and I've never seen that, I don't think, for as long as I've been alive. I don't think I've seen so many people on the Browns, or so many people confident on the Browns to win. But yeah, I guess I am too. I don't like to be with the public usually, but they're not always wrong. So, uh, they got a good defense that I think could shut this Miami offense down. Miami got a lot of rushing yards, and I think Cleveland's good at stopping the run. And they're going to get to Tua. They haven't gotten any sacks, I believe, or Myles Garrett hasn't gotten any sacks in like the last 3 weeks. He's due to get to Tua. I believe he'll turn the ball over like he always does, especially against this good defense. Gabriel going against a crappy offense. It's a good spot for him to finally get his first win and to look good doing it. He hasn't turned the ball over for a rookie. Threw the ball a lot last week. No turnovers, I don't believe. So I like that. He's being safe with the ball, I guess. Cleveland needs to run the ball more this week, definitely. And you can run on this Miami defense. They got gashed last week against Fidel, like some third string, second string running back, and they've been getting gashed all year. So I really think, Cleveland can win running the ball. I think Daniels will look good, make some good plays, and Miami is going to continue to struggle on defense. They're going to continue to have no chemistry on offense. Like, even the games when they're scoring points, it doesn't look convincing. You don't think, like, wow, this team has it together. I think everybody's waiting for, McDaniels to get fired. They're talking about it every week. So I think at some point it is going to happen. Cleveland, they haven't covered their last 3 weeks, so they're kind of due for a cover as well. And they are favored, which is weird. When you don't cover in 3 weeks, you don't win in 3 weeks, and now you're favored, but it's against another 1-4 team, so that's why, maybe it's not as trappy. Tua, I think, is definitely going to throw an interception against this defense. I think, I think I pretty much said everything I need to say about this game. Sanders is going to start at some point this season, but I don't think it's going to be this soon. So I do think Daniels is going to get a win. A win or two, then a bunch more losses before they finally pull the plug on him and put Sanders in. That's just been the Browns for the past however many years. They can never stick with the quarterback all year, whether it's because he gets injured or because he sucks. They don't want to stick with him. That's going to continue to be their story. Why? I don't know. And maybe Sanders will end that. Or maybe he'll be another big talk quarterback that does nothing. You had Manziel, a bunch of, I'm not even going to name them. They had a bunch of guys come in, and none of them have done anything. So Daniels definitely isn't the guy, I'll tell you that. From what I've seen, he looks good, capable. He ain't going to be the guy to make the Browns a fucking franchise. All right, next game. So I'm picking the Browns, to make that clear. Browns -2.5. Next game, we got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are minus 12.5. This is the first game I might switch, but right now I got the Raiders to cover, Kansas City Chiefs to win. I'm keeping my eye on the Jacoby Myers injury, Brock Bowers injury. Is he going to come back? I doubt it. Doesn't look like it. But if Myers is out too, this offense already doesn't really score any points, and the Raiders defense is good in my opinion. I think they're really good. Maybe not stopping the pass too much, but they can get to the quarterback. The only thing is the Raiders offense will set them up a lot, where they go 3 and out, defense is right back out on the field, and they can't be making plays all game, right? And now you got a Kansas City Chiefs whose offense is starting to look dominant again, and they're going to get Rice back in this game. And he's definitely their best receiver. So that's why I might pick the Chiefs, because their offense is going to be unstoppable. They're going to have just anybody they could give the ball to, and Pacheco, Hunt, Rice, Hollywood Brown, Worthy, Kelsey, their other tight end, like the list goes on. They got a lot of options now, and it's not just backups playing. They're just going to come in for a few plays to give the starters rest, and then it's going to work out great for them. They're going to score a lot of points offensively. So I got to see, check in on Raiders injuries. If a couple guys are out, then I'm going to probably switch to the Kansas City Chiefs. Right now I got the Raiders to cover the 12.5 because that's still a lot of points for this type of matchup. These teams always play each other hard. Raiders hate the Chiefs. Chiefs hate the Raiders. I think Raiders play better away. They don't really got a home crowd. That's what everybody says. That's what it looks like when I watch the games. But yeah, Mahomes is killing it. Their defense is looking good too, the Chiefs. They're not the best though. I think Raiders have a chance to run the ball on them a little bit. They haven't really been stopping the run the best this year. What else do I got? I'm trying to get through this video a lot quicker than I got through all my other ones. So far, it's looking like it's going to take about the same amount of time. Kansas City has a top 3 offense. So if the Raiders play hard defense, if the Raiders offense doesn't set up the defense, or at least gives the defense a break on the sidelines, and if we see continuous field goal issues for the Chiefs, I think the Raiders can cover this spread. Geno Smith has turned the ball over every game. That's got to stop for at least one game this year. There's got to be at least one game he doesn't turn the ball over. And I know against the Chiefs, that might not be the game. But, yeah, this could be a pick I very well swap, because everything I just said about the Raiders, is that really going to be the reason why I picked them to cover the spread? Just because I think, yeah, they're going to play hard, which is what happens in a lot of games every single week in the NFL. There's always a team that shouldn't cover that covers because they're just playing harder, than the other team. The other team's sleeping on them, whatever. I don't think Kansas City's going to be sleeping at 3-3, but it's also a good spot. I think Raiders will be playing hard. Another reason they'll be playing hard is because they win this game, which they're not gonna, but if they win this game, they got the same record as the Chiefs. So the Chiefs, I don't think they're looking at the Chiefs as that scary coming in this game. I think they're going to look at them and like they're very beatable, which if this was 2 weeks ago, I'd be feeling a lot better about this pick. But now that the Chiefs' offense is healthy, they're getting everybody back. Rashee Rice wasn't hurt. He was suspended, but he's still been out of football. Hasn't played a game in well over a year. So we'll just... Yeah, a lot of questions for me in this game. And I don't know why I feel better about the Raiders, but if they have some key offensive players out, like Myers hasn't done much this week, but the first 2 weeks of the season, that was Geno's favorite target, him and Bowers. He was slinging Myers the ball, so yeah, let's see what happens. Let's go to the next game. Next game, this is going to be a money pick. We got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings are plus 2.5. First money pick of the week, Schmidt heads. And I'm going to put my money on the Eagles. Yeah, I know, I should stay away from the Eagles. They've been looking bad, right? Last 2 weeks. A lot of talk in the locker room, team meetings, players not being happy or satisfied. But we got Wentz coming, this is a revenge game. Wentz, the last time he played the Eagles, he lost. He's 0-1 against the Eagles. I think they sacked him like 9 times, something crazy. They got to him a lot. I think the Eagles are going to know how to get to Wentz again. This isn't really exactly a revenge game like what he was on the Eagles almost 10 years ago, maybe sometime, when was it, like 2015, 16? Yeah, it's been a long time. So I don't know if I could really call it a revenge game. But I don't like Wentz. He's not going to remain the starter for any team, especially, he's going to be the backup guy. I don't know if McCarthy might play, so that's a question mark. I think they still don't know if McCarthy will be healthy this week. But even if McCarthy plays, I don't like him either. I like the players on the Vikings, though. They got a lot of good players. Justin Jefferson, Addison, guys you can sling the ball to, and they're playmakers, both of them. But they got a good defense, so they're at home, Eagles. They need to get it together. I got to check their injuries on defense. I want to make sure Mitchell's playing. I want to make sure, other players are playing. What's his freaking name? Carter. So, because that'll be a lot, and it seems like Carter makes a big difference if he's playing or not. Definitely Mitchell. They had trouble stopping the pass, and that was against the Giants. That shouldn't have happened, but it did. So, there's a lot of red flags on the Eagles. Barkley hasn't really got going this year, not the way he's supposed to. Is he cursed by Madden? The Madden curse is real. I believe in it. A lot of reasons to stay away from the Eagles, but the main reason why I'm picking them, the main reason why I'm putting my money on them, is because I just don't see them dropping 3 in a row. They're still the same team that won the Super Bowl last year. Besides a couple of injuries I mentioned, I don't see them dropping 3 in a row. I don't see them losing their 3rd in a row to Carson Wentz. I think they're going to get to Wentz, get pressure on him. He's going to make mistakes. We all know Wentz. He likes to think he knows that he's the smartest player on the field or whatever. A lot of teammates don't, they talk shit about him. I don't think he changes. We're going to see McCarthy get the start and be the starting quarterback again at some point this year. So I don't think I don't think this is the game for Wentz. Now that's if we need to make sure the Eagles defense stays healthy. Now their offense, on the other hand, they're not banged up. They're still healthy. And it's only a matter of time before they pop off. Last 2 weeks, they've only put up 17 points each week. Do I see them scoring 17 or lower 3 weeks in a row? And the Eagles, they do this every year, I feel like, where they just have a little stretch where they just look like shit. All year, I think they haven't been playing up to expectations. But I don't see them dropping 3 in a row. Definitely not, especially to the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings are that good. They got a pretty good defense, but any good defense, any given week, could give up points to a high-powered offense, and that's the Eagles. This could be Barkley's breakout game. I think teams have been able to run on the Vikings, so maybe this is the week Barkley gets going. um, does some backwards hurdles or gives us a new Madden cover. Who knows? So I got my money on the Eagles. All they really got to do is win the game to get this cover. Hopefully they win by more than 2. A lot of their games have been close, so you never know. But I don't think. I think they got to make a statement this game, and this is a good bounce back spot for them against the Minnesota team. That just they still got to get healthy, and I think they are getting some key defensive players back too on Minnesota. What's his face? But yeah, I got my money on Philadelphia. I think everybody's going Minnesota and everybody's giving up on the Eagles, and I like that even more for this pick. I think Eagles are really going to prove a point, show that they're still one of the top dogs in the league. They still got everybody. They still want to win. They're still hungry. A lot of people talk shit about how players aren't getting along and whatnot. I don't want to pay attention to any of that noise. They all want to win. That's all I care about. Sounds like they all want to win. Next game, we got the Carolina Panthers at the New York Jets. Jets are plus 1.5. Jets are plus 1.5. At home against the Carolina Panthers. Now, here's another pick I'm not too crazy about, and maybe this is why I don't do good at the 1 o'clock games. Because I always look at the 1 o'clock games and I'm like back and forth. I could see the games going either way, no matter how shitty a team is and no matter how good a team is. But I'm gonna have the Jets to win and to cover this. Now, the things I've seen that I like, that are in my favor, is so far Carolina hasn't won an away game. We got that. They haven't won an away, and they've looked shitty on all their away games. The one away game where they didn't look bad on paper would have been against the Arizona Cardinals, and they didn't start looking good till the last 10 minutes of that game. Or was it like towards the end of the third quarter when Murray threw a dumb interception and then they started coming back out of nowhere. But other than that, they've looked like garbage on all their away games this year. It's still the beginning of the season, not a very large sample size. But I would like to believe that the Jets defense is going to continue after shutting down. They shut down the Broncos last week. To want to do that again against the Panthers. So the Jets defense stepping up like I thought they would last week. Go back and watch the video. I said they're going to step up at some point. They got a lot of talent on that side of the ball. I think they could do it again and want to continue to play good against this Carolina. And they got to win. No team wants to go winless throughout the whole year. So until they get a win, they're going to play hard. They're at home. Carolina, Bryce Young. I'm not a believer in Bryce Young. Do I think he got better? He's not turning the ball over. He's not making stupid plays. Good for him, But he's getting more wins. Like, they don't look like a different team, this Carolina Panthers. They don't look like a different team to me than they did last year. Dowdle coming out of nowhere with these rushing. That's going to stop eventually. Dowdle's not going to tear it up the rest of the year. He didn't do it for Dallas. And then they got Hubbard. So, he's going to get carries taken away from him. But Panthers, they always have a surprise running back every year. So I wouldn't doubt if Dowdle had a few more. He's going to have a couple more good games, but he'll slow down eventually. The Jets, though, man, they just gotta play good defense, and now they don't have Wilson playing, so that's a big deal. who are they going to throw the ball to? Who did he throw? He didn't really throw it to Wilson all that much in the first place. So I think he's going to continue to throw to his tight end. They're going to continue to run more than they throw. Justin Fields threw for -10 net yards last week. It can't get worse than that. We all threw. It was an interesting stat I saw in a video I was watching. Everybody at home threw for more yards than Justin Fields last Sunday. So there's no way we all throw more than a professional quarterback 2 weeks in a row. Justin Fields definitely going to do better. They should have just punted the ball every time they got it on offense. If that's the case, like, they're not gaining any yards. Anyway, all that, and they still covered against the Broncos team. So, Broncos don't have the best offense, but I don't believe Carolina does either. Jets did good stopping the run last week. I think they can continue that. They're not going to have Dowdle run all over them. And they want to win, definitely. They gotta. So we still get +1.5. There's a chance that they lose by 1 because that's such a Jets way to lose, be up by 2 and then lose by a field goal. And they probably, on a pass interference or something, the Panthers get in field goal range. I could see the Jets losing because the Jets find ways to lose. They suck. They keep shooting themselves in the foot. But I'm going to rock with the Jets to win and to cover this week. Yeah, Fields needs to step it up. I don't know. I just think this offense has proved they can move the ball. As long as they don't shoot themselves in the foot, I think they can move the ball, get some field goals, maybe some rushing touchdowns. Maybe Fields can break off a few runs because if he gets loose, yeah. Next game, we got the New England Patriots at the Tennessee Titans. Titans are +7.5. Right now I got the Patriots to win and to cover. Now, do I really think they're going to cover? I don't know. I might switch. Patriots cover their last 3 matchups. But I've seen teams cover 4 or 5 weeks in a row before. So I might just stay with the Pats because this is a revenge game for Mike Vrabel. Not really, but isn't it interesting? Mike Vrabel's playing his old team the same exact week. They fire the coach that replaced him. They fired Vrabel. What the fuck is Tennessee doing, right? I would like to say that this is a complete meltdown for them, and New England should be able to take advantage and win. I see Vrabel as I don't want to say a Bill Belichick type coach, but a type of coach where no matter how much they're up by, he still wants to play good football. He's not just going to switch to the conservative game. He wants to see good execution, all that stuff. No matter how much they're winning by, no matter how much they're losing by, every play I think is going to matter. I could see Tennessee staying in this game, though. We've seen it with new head coaches, but a new head coach, players playing harder for their new head coach, they got something to prove now, but a new head coach with a rookie quarterback and with an offense that wasn't all there in the first place. This Tennessee team hasn't scored more than 2 touchdowns. I'm not even counting the week they put up 21 against Carolina, because Carolina pretty much scored their 1 touchdown for them. They kicked the ball in the end zone for them. They even caught the ball on that play for them. They caught the ball, threw it, said, "Here you go." The other guy said, "Oh no, let me help you out even more." Kicked the ball. But anyway, you could pass on this New England defense. It's possible. They're giving me flashbacks to their bend but don't break days. So I could see them bending a lot, but not breaking against this Tennessee offense. Tennessee, they just don't. Ward hasn't really had a connection with any of the receivers yet. Ridley, they don't. It doesn't seem like a lot of good chemistry. Tennessee, they got a lot going on, so I'm gonna stay away from them. New England to win in the cover. Not putting my money on it though. Not feeling too good. New England's covered their last 3 games. If they cover this game, I think I'm definitely fading New England next week. I don't see New England covering 5 in a row. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go to the next game. This is another money pick. Finally, second money pick of the week. We got the New York Giants at the Denver Broncos. Broncos are -6.5. That line's moved to -7. I've seen it -7.5, but we got them at -6.5. I got my money on the Broncos to cover this. They're going to win and cover. I think this is my most confident pick of the week. A lot of hype around the Giants right now. Jackson Dart killing it, I guess you could say. Scatterbo, I said it in my last video, running like he's trying to get a concussion. But, that hype, these 2 rookies going against this stellar defense, a top 3 defense, I don't think they could keep it going against this defense. Is Scatterbo still going to run angry? Yeah, I believe so. He's still going to run hard, but I think this Broncos defense is going to shut him down. Is Dart still going to try and scramble and get some runs? Yeah, but I think this defense is going to, Sean Payton, I think he knows how to startle these type of quarterbacks, and he's going to cook up a little bit of a scheme. So, yeah. I don't see, I see this, Giants offense coming down to earth a little bit. They're still banged up on the receiver end. They don't got neighbors. These receivers aren't going to run over every single defense, especially this Denver defense. Same thing with Dart. Same thing with Scatterbo. I don't see this Giants. The defense is okay. I don't think it's that great, though. I think it's definitely possible for the Broncos to put up some points on this defense, especially after last week. They played horrible on offense. They got to cook some stuff up, try to get some momentum going on offense here. I think they're going to need to think of some sort of game plan, something to get this offense going, because they haven't been putting up a lot of points. So, but I think this defense is going to make it so they don't have to put up a lot of points, and they could win this like 24-17 or something like that. I don't even know if the Giants can score 17 on this defense, but because of the hype, and they have been looking good and playing good, and they got that mojo right now. Dart's looking like a damn industry plant, but yeah, I don't see Denver losing this one, and I think of how bad they've looked, and they're gonna try to make a statement here. I've said that, I think, the second game where I'm going based off of, I think they want to try and make a statement. But I had a lot more to back it up. Bo Nix has been protecting the ball. He's not really turning the ball over, throwing a lot of interceptions. I was never that high on him in the first place. He had a great rookie year. I did see a little bit of a decline this year. That's happening. But mainly because I don't really think he has anyone to throw the ball to. You got Sutton, and that's about it. Evan Ingram, but we already know we're getting out of Evan Ingram. Like he's capable of making some clutch plays, getting a touchdown, but very injury prone. Probably had one too many injuries. He's never gonna be elite. I just don't really think I like Dobbins. Dobbins is running the ball very well, but other than that, I don't think it's like a very high-powered offense. Very inconsistent. They need things to go their way type of offense. But I do think, all that being said, they put up more points, 7 more points at least than the Giants this game. And I got my money on that. I'm feeling confident about it. I just don't, I think everybody's high on the Giants right now, and this is a good week to fade that hype. All right. Anything else I got on this game? yeah, pretty much just think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Denver, they're great at stopping the run. They're going to shut down Scatabo, and we're going to see what Dart if he can win a game with his arm. And we're going to see, I don't think Denver's going to let those big plays happen with the scrambling and all that. So that's what I believe. Next game, I got my money on this one as well. And this is going to be the second week I put money on a game like this. We got the Indianapolis Colts at the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are -1.5. I got my money on the Chargers to win and to cover this game. Why are the Chargers favorites in this game? That's the biggest question mark to me. Now, this is going to be the third game this year that I should have kept better track, but the third game since I've been keeping track that I'm picking this team solely because this spread looks like a trap. -1.5 against the Colts team that's been on fire. Everybody's talking about how much they don't punt the ball and how they're always scoring. But, and I think their offense is for real. I don't think this is a fluke by any means. But I do think there's going to be weeks where they just, slow down a little bit. They just can't get it clicking on offense. It's possible for Jonathan Taylor to run the ball on this Chargers defense, but they've been pretty good at stopping the run. I want to see they got some defensive injuries I want to look after. But just the spread is too trappy for me. So I got my money on the Chargers. We hit the last week. Who did we pick because the spread was trappy? Fuck, I forget. Let me go back. Sorry. It was the Kansas City game. Why was Kansas City favored against Detroit? All that. So, and the game before that was the Saints favored against the Giants when they haven't won a game yet. So this week it's the Chargers favored against the Colts, where the Colts have been tearing it up, and the Chargers have been looking kind of like mid-ish the past few weeks. But yeah, I got my money on the Chargers, -1.5. Looking at the Colts' schedule, they've had a pretty easy schedule. They've only beat one team with their winning record, and that was a game they should have lost. That was a fluky win. It was against the Denver Broncos. They missed the game-winning field goal, but oops, there's a flag. Now they make the game-winning field goal like that. And it was a late flag, too, I believe, if I remember. But, yeah, I think this is just Vegas knows something. And I'm going to put my money on the Chargers. Herbert's slinging it. He's looking great. And it looks like that McConkey connection. I see another touchdown for McConkey 3 weeks in a row. And you could throw on this Indianapolis defense. Easy. And I think they got a couple injuries on their defense as well. I think this Chargers defense can, step it up against this Colts offense. There's got to be a week where they're just a little bit out of sync. I don't think they've had that yet, the Colts. I think the Chargers, they get a win here. This is going to be the third time the Colts play a team with a winning record. And let's see if they get another fluky win or if they just finally beat a team with a winning record. But they've been looking great all year. I'm not taking nothing away from the Colts. They have been looking great all year, but their defense has been giving up points. Their defense has been giving up yards. And I think that's something that this Chargers needs right now is just an easy passing day. You could pass all over this Colts defense, I think, if you're Herbert. And with his targets, I like McConkey. I like that he has the old reliable Keenan Allen back. The running back injuries, I guess I got to look into that more, but Vidal didn't look too bad last week. Granted, that was against a crappy Dolphins defense. But I just got an odd feeling. And so far I've been money on these, and I've been finally putting my money on these, and I haven't regretted it yet. So let's go Chargers -1.5. Anything important that I missed on that? Yeah, Colts D's banged up. I'm not completely sold on the Chargers offense. I don't think it's high powered by any means. Not really a threat every single drive to get points on the board. But I do think Herbert is going to sling the ball this game. That's what they should do, especially with their running back injuries. It worked last week. I think it'll work again this week. And they only got to win by 2 points. So, same thing with the Eagles. They just pretty much got to win. And I think they can beat this Colts team. And I'm pretty confident on it, putting my money on it. That's the third money pick of the week, y'all. The rest are just going to be locks. We got the Green Bay Packers at the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals are +6.5. This is a game I might switch. I'm going to speed through the rest of these games for you guys. This video is already going too long. Don't know how I always make it go this long. But I'm watching, I say this every video, I'm watching more videos than I ever watched last year. So I got more to say, more to talk about, more to tinker with. And I ramble a lot, but I like rambling. So let's get to it. Atlanta, Green Bay at Arizona. Arizona is 6.5. I think I might switch this game, especially if Brissett is playing. I want to pay attention to that. But Brissett is still a losing quarterback anyway. If Murray plays, I might even put money on this. Because Green Bay's been scoring a lot of points on offense. Their defense has been a little underwhelming. I think they could step it up, especially against this Arizona offense that's just banged up. They have no Connor, and I've been saying it in the past few videos. Without Connor, I don't like this offense. They're not moving the ball. They don't really have third and shorts. It's a lot of third and longs now. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. even got a concussion. Maybe I'm making that up. But yeah, I just Brissett, good win, revenge game against the Colts. Don't know how that always happens. We even got it again this week. I forgot to mention that with the Eagles. Wentz, I'm pretty sure he'll be playing. Isn't it funny how the backup quarterback's playing his old team? But anyway. Shit, sorry, I lost my spot. I believe Watson's coming back this week. Might not be a big deal. Green Bay, their receivers is just so weird how like none of them ever seem to pop out as the number one receiver. It usually seems to be a different number one every week, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I do think Jacobs can run the ball all over this Arizona. Green Bay being favored by this much, even though they haven't really blown a team out in a while. But yeah, this Arizona Cardinals, like, Brissett's not going to remain the starter, even though I don't think Murray should remain the starter. But Murray will get back in. Brissett's not going to kill it 2 games in a row. He killed it last week, but that was against, like I said, the Colts defense. And I think teams can pass all over the Colts this year, especially when they're banged up. But yeah. That's really all I got to say about this game. I think the Packers D is going to step it up. Feels good to finally get that win after so long, you know, with the bye week and the tie with Dallas. It's been a while since they won. So I think Green Bay, yeah, I just, you know, like, you always, it was even last year, you always, like, waiting for them to kill a team and blow them out, and it just never really happened. And should I be thinking that way again this year, like, where they're not blowing out teams, but eventually, I don't know. Everybody's just so high on the Cardinals. Oh, they could have won every game. It's all been by 4 points or less. All their games have been close this year. And I think everybody's so confident on Cardinals, all their games being close this year, that this is going to be another close game. I don't think that. I think Green Bay should be able to dominate. They're definitely a much better team. They got a high-powered offense. They got a crap ton of receivers they could throw to. They got Josh Jacobs. He could definitely run right through this Arizona defense. This defense has been letting up some rush yards. Yeah, all that. The Packers D has not been getting to the quarterback though. Last 3 games. So let's they gotta try to stop that. Right? This is a good spot to get to the quarterback, I think. I hope Murray's playing. What did I put there? It slows down. And Green Bay, they like to, I feel like, take their foot off the pedal a little bit in the fourth quarter of games. So that's another thing that worries me about them covering this. But Arizona also, I feel like, does the same thing. So maybe that works out in our favor and Green Bay covers. I got Green Bay to cover the 6.5. Next game, we got Washington at Dallas. Dallas is plus 2.5. I got Dallas to win and to cover this game. I just think their offense is right now way better than Washington's offense. Washington's offense is a little dinged up. Scary Terry might come back, but even if he does, I don't think that's that big of a deal. They weren't really connecting all that much when he was playing this year. And CeeDee Lamb might come back. I'm pretty sure he will come back this week. And maybe Dallas's defense. Everybody can score on Dallas's defense, but maybe this is... Sorry, guys. Maybe this is the year that... the week that Dallas defense steps up a little bit, kind of like they did week 1 against the Eagles. They got to do something, or are they just really going to let teams score on them every single week? Like, they are the worst defense right now. I think on paper, even when I watch them, they just stink. It's so easy to just move the ball on this team. But Washington has some offensive woes right now. I think Dallas, it's going to be a very high-scoring game, I think. But I just think Dallas comes away with a win. Maybe an awesome field goal from their kicker. Sorry, guys. Yeah. I don't want to talk about that game too much because this video is already long enough. Now we're getting into the Saturday night games, and there's 2 Monday night games. This is a long way away, so I'm just going to tell you guys, since this video's gone on for too long, apologize if you don't mind how long this is taking and you want my analysis on every single game, but I'm just going to speed through these last 3. Yeah, because I'm taking way too long, and I apologize. So, yeah, let's go Dallas plus 2.5. I'm feeling confident about that. If their defense wasn't so shitty, obviously I put money on it. But I'm not going to do that. Next game, we got Atlanta at San Francisco 49ers. 49ers are minus 3.5. This is another game I might switch. But right now I got the Atlanta Falcons to cover. I think San Francisco might pull off a win. Yeah, let me switch it up. Let me go Atlanta to cover, San Francisco to win. Atlanta plus 3.5. Kittle might come back this week. Really got to look at the San Francisco injuries. They're banged up and injured every week, but they lost some more key players on defense. And this Atlanta offense, I think that's good news for them. San Francisco defense should still be good no matter what. But, yeah, they're just hurt on both sides of the ball now. And, you know, I've seen them win games with injuries. They pulled it off, but kind of caught up to them last week. Got to see who's playing still, but if it's just Kittle coming back, I don't think that's enough for me. Yeah, right now I'm Falcons, leaning Falcons to cover that 3.5 points. Next game we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Detroit Lions. Lions are -4.5. I'm locking in the Lions to win and to cover this game. I'm actually feeling really confident about it. If we end up doing good this week, I might even put money on that. So if I go 3 for 3 on the money picks this week, we're putting money on the Detroit Lions. Stay tuned to my shorts to see if we end up doing that. See if we end up pulling it off. But yeah, I like this. Detroit just got whooped by Kansas City, and now they're 4.5 favorites to a Tampa Bay team that has kept every game close. And Baker Mayfield's a gunslinger, but Tampa Bay, we've been covering with Tampa Bay the past couple weeks. I think it's time to fade them. It's a good spot for Detroit to get right, win a big game. In Tampa Bay, they're not going to keep winning these close games. It's not going to happen. So it might be another situation where Baker Mayfield has a chance to. But every single game isn't going to work out that way for Tampa Bay. As fun as it is to watch, as exciting it is to see, it's not always going to happen. Detroit and Tampa Bay is just so banged up too. The same thing with San Francisco. It caught up to them. It's going to catch up to Tampa Bay. They've been playing great. And I've been saying Baker Mayfield's going to sling the ball no matter what. But at some point, you're just going to look bad. It's just not, they're not the starters for a reason. So yeah, Detroit to win and to cover, -4.5. Next game, last game, we got the Houston Texans at the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are -3.5. This is another game I might switch. The fourth game I might switch. Let me know in the comments below what you think of these games I might switch. Maybe you can help me make a final decision. But right now I got the Seattle Seahawks to cover the 3.5. I just think they're the much better team. Houston, yeah, they're on a 2-game win streak. They're coming off of a bye. But Seattle, man, there's two very good defenses going at it. But I like Seattle's offense a lot more. And I think that might have been too early for a team like the Texans to get a bye, honestly. Like, you get in a win streak after a crappy start to the season, and now you're getting a bye week. That might ruin the mojo. Who knows? And you're coming back. You got to play away at Seattle. Yeah, I don't know. Seattle just their defense looks really good. So does Houston's. But I just see their offense being able to get better drives together than Houston, maybe more consistently be able to move the ball. Houston might have a few more 3-and-outs, I see. So right now I'm feeling Seattle, -3.5. I want to get at least 10 games right this week. And of course I want to get all my money picks right. But at least 10 games right this week, and I will be feeling on top of the world. If you stuck around this long, you are a true Schmidt head, and I greatly appreciate it. These videos are too long. I gotta find a way, maybe like get index cards or something, and instead of like looking at everything and trying to mention all my important notes, just really sum it up, I guess. If I could sum this up, make these videos 30 minutes long, 30 to 40 minutes, I think that would be key. But yeah, let me know what you think. Don't forget to click like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you to all the new subscribers. We're slowly building, and I think the more that we're right, everybody should, catch on eventually, because we've been killing it. We've been killing it since I started posting these videos. And if anybody has been paying attention and placing the bets I said to place, then I am happy for you. You've been making money. I don't know how much money, but you're definitely making profit. Anyway, peace.